Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Breaking down today's MLB main slate for today on DraftKings starting at 1 o'clock. Before we continue though, if you could leave a like, subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate that. And also NASCAR is going to be tonight at 7:30 instead of tomorrow. So if you haven't checked out my NASCAR video, I'd recommend checking that out. I posted it last night, so it should be the video right before this. A lot of good information on there. I have my cheat sheet ready to go for Richmond. So anyway, let's get back into the slate. So my number one pitcher today is going to be Kyle Freeland. He's only 8,200 going against the San Francisco Giants, and we love attacking the Giants with left-handed pitching. And I think Kyle Freeland's a pretty decent pitcher. He's better than what his numbers say, in my opinion, because Coors really skews it. But anyway, it's just a weak lineup. They don't have a ton of power. Tyler Austin, that's just a smaller sample size for him. I mean, he's obviously not that good. He's going to strike out a ton. And it's just a weak overall lineup. They don't have a lot of power. 168 team ISO, low WOBA. Decent strikeout rate, but I just don't expect many runs to be scored. Neither does Vegas. It's a 7 over under. He's actually not a favorite with Bumgarner on the other side, but I don't like Bumgarner that much because the Rockies can't hit lefties. Arenado in story. And Bumgarner got roughed up by the Padres as well, so I think the Rockies are a little bit better than them. So staying away from Bumgarner, but I really like Kyle Freeland in this matchup, especially for the 8,200, and Blake Snell's 10,700, so Freeland's going to let you get better bats in. But speaking of Blake Snell, I don't mind him either. I think he's a really good play today. Let me find him. Going against Toronto. We've been attacking Toronto a lot this year. And Blake Snell is one of the best pitchers in the league. He's had an awesome start this year so far. He's 10,700 though, so that's the tough thing. But he should be able to mow through this lineup. They strike out 24% of the time versus lefties. His last couple DraftKings games were 44 and 33, so he's in really good form after a rough start to the year. He's got the most strikeout upside in the slate. I mean, we've got a lot of guys that strike out in this lineup. Hernandez, Smoke, Grichuk, and Drury all strike out over 24% of the time, and Teoscar 31% of the time. And he's got elite numbers all the way around. He limits the hard contact, limits the power given up. So I think Blake Snell's an awesome spot if you can afford him. I do want to get those Red Sox bats in today, so it's going to be tough to use him and Freeland together just to get all the bats you want in. But I definitely love the spot, and he's the safest pitcher in my opinion today. Then, if you want a cheaper pitcher, I don't mind CC Sabathia making his first start of the year versus the White Sox. Just the same reason I like J Happ. I know it didn't work out with Happ yesterday, but I want to attack the spot. I do like the spot. CC Sabathia isn't a bad pitcher. I mean, I know he's getting old, but he had really good numbers last year. Really limited the hard contact, had a nice strikeout rate. And this White Sox team is going to strike out a ton, 26% of the time to lefties. It's just weak overall. You got to get past Abreu and Tim Anderson, but other than that, no one really scares me. I know Jimenez had a double dong yesterday, so he might be getting a little hot. But other than that, I think it's a really weak lineup, and CC Sabathia should be fine. Get a decent amount of strikeouts, probably give up a couple runs. But he's a heavy favorite just because the Yankees are projected to score a lot of runs, and he's going to allow you to get some bats in as well. So don't mind CC Sabathia. Then for the bats, I like Red Sox are going to be number one. They have an awesome matchup going against Andrew Cashner, probably one of the worst pitchers in the league. If you just look, it's red all around, guys. He doesn't really do anything well. He can really get attacked by lefties too. So I really like the lefties in Boston, but everyone's in play. Benintendi, I know he homered yesterday. I really like Benintendi today leading off. Mitch Moreland stands out. He's been really hot. His price is getting up there though. He's 4,800, but he's really hot. And obviously, Devers is fine too. And you just can't leave off the righties either. Mookie Betts, one of the best players in baseball. JD Martinez, one of the best hitters in baseball. So all these guys are in awesome spots. I mean, if you can afford it, I'd love stacking up this entire lineup. It's going to be extremely hard though with Snell on the slate and Freeland. So if you just have to pick a couple, I would attack with the lefties. But this whole lineup's an awesome spot today. And also like the Yankees, not as much as the Boston Red Sox, just because the Red Sox have a much fuller roster. But Aaron Judge is in play. Noah, he does let the lefties hit him pretty well, but the righties too. I mean, he's not elite versus righties or anything. So Gardner is in play, Aaron Judge being the best play, but I would much rather pay up for a Red Sox than Judge. But Voigt's in play, Torres, Bird. Other than that, I probably wouldn't play anybody else. But those guys are in good spots. They have a nice run total of over 5 today, so Vegas is expecting them to score some runs. It's good hitters park, so like those guys. And if you need some savings, which I assume you're going to at some point, I don't mind these Orioles lefties versus Porcello. Last time Porcello pitched, we attacked the lefties with him against the D-backs, and it worked out very well. They really got to him. As you can see, he gives up a lot of hard contact to lefties. He's pretty good versus righties, but when it comes to lefties, he's going to struggle a lot. And we have some lefties in here like Dwight Smith Jr., VR, Ruiz. If you really need the salary savings, Chris Davis is $2,200 a day. So even if he gets a walk and a run, he's going to pay out value there. So he is in play if you need the salary. He's going to really let you get some good bats in. So don't mind any of these lefties on here. Mullins leading off. He can be okay too. Not a ton of firepower, but let you get some other good bats in. And then also the Cubs going against Stratton. Stratton is not a very good pitcher, and the wind is blowing out 10 miles per hour, which is a little bit of a bump to bats. It's not like 20 miles per hour or anything, but 10 miles per hour is a nice boost in this park because it's heavily affected by the wind. And, Stratton just doesn't have very good numbers all around. He gives up a lot of hard contact to righties and lefties, slightly worse versus lefties. So guys like Anthony Rizzo, Ben Zobrist, Kyle Schwarber, they stand out, even Jason Hayward a little bit. But the righties are in play too, Chris Bryant, Javier Baez, Contreras. So, like all those guys. And I'll just show you what my model likes really quick. Again, with the pitchers, don't mind their projected points. They're not going to get 80 points. The numbers are just out of whack, but just pretend they were a little bit lower. So Blake Snell obviously leading the way. It likes Bumgarner too versus the Rockies, which I don't really tend to agree with him being the second highest projected pitcher, but the model does like him. And Kyle Freeland's up there too as well. So. And obviously it has Andrew Cashner at the bottom because I think the Red Sox are going to get smashed. So, and here's some of the hitters. This is for the all-day slate. So if you're interested, I can put the shareable link in the comments as well, just so you can have a look at it. But anyway, that's all for the video, guys. Feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions. Remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that. And good luck today in baseball and NASCAR.